Okay, good. I am going to mute everybody except for myself. Good. All right, so what we're going to do right now, first I want to welcome everybody that is here live, and then also welcome anybody that's watching this via recording, because it's going to live on our Facebook page. I want to welcome you to an introductory look at the way our program works. And what I mean by that is when a client goes on the program and they start to partake in it, how does it work for them? And also, we'll talk a little bit about the international expansion, obviously from the US to Hong Kong and Singapore. So my story, for those that haven't seen it, this is me in May of 2007. Look, I've already started to make Bemis laugh by showing him my fat picture. But this is me in May of 2007, and I'm about 80 pounds heavier than I am right now. And I'll show you the rest of that. So what's funny about this picture is that's my son on my right knee with the shovel, Jackson, who's now 13 years old. And that little kid maybe this was foreshadowing our expansion to Singapore and Hong Kong, but that little kid was just playing in the sand, and I picked him up and put him on my left knee to cover up my left love gun. That's why he's crying. So, but the reality of this picture is that is a health professional whose hat is obviously smaller than his head. I was swimming with my shirt on, and that was a fake smile that you see, because the truth is that I was very uncomfortable, depressed. I was a workaholic, never saw my kids, and I was not happy. So that's why I ate so much. I knew that I was doing something wrong, but I did it anyway. So I went on this amazing program we're about to go over. I lost 55 pounds. That's my weight loss picture. But then when I woke up through this amazing program and I tapped into the support and the 4 components I'm going to go over, that's when I found my optimal health. Now, optimal health is different for everybody. Our goal is going to change with every single story. And then obviously when we go into Asia, it's a totally different story where it might not even be about weight loss. It might not even be about fitness. It might be about convenience and nutrition and things. But for me, once I lost weight, I woke up, I learned what was really going on and why I was eating. And I engaged in this program and all the 4 components. And I decided to see how far I could take my health. But this is my favorite after picture, because the truth, and this is an interesting thing for everybody to observe, the truth is that everybody has the thing in their background that matters most to them. And for me, it was my children. So I love this after picture, because this is me walking as the head coach of my child's football team, because I never had time to do that before. So this is my after picture. I'm slim, I'm fit. I look much younger and healthier than all my friends. I'm going to be around longer. And now I have this life, because I became a coach, where I have time and financial freedom to do the things that matter most. So I put a couple of slides up here to just state some things about what we're on a mission. We're on a mission to offer the world not weight loss and not even just nutrition, but lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. That's our moniker. So now more than ever, our Optavia community of coaches has much to celebrate, and that's why we want to move to another country. So here are a couple of pictures I put together. So here's Dr. Dale, and Dr. Dale lost 13 pounds in his first month on program. That's a pretty significant change for a guy that went on the program just to see if it works. Here's Dr. Debbie. Now, I don't know if that, I don't know how accurate the 34 pounds is, because I didn't have time to ask Deb. But Deb, maybe you can unmute yourself just quickly and tell us how much weight you lost on the program.
I've lost 48 pounds, JC.
Okay, so I sold her short 12 pounds. So Deb lost 40 what pounds? 48? 48 pounds. And those are 2 pictures of 2 health professionals as well. So that's pretty cool. Here's some extreme pictures of what our program does for people. And this is an obvious US case here. This is Will, lost 100 pounds. And you can see that transformation. He's a professional actor now. Here's an example of somebody that is of the younger population. And this is Kelly, who lost 50. who's now, fit, and she became a health coach as well. She's kept her weight off for about 4 or 5 years now. This is my best friend, Jeff, 70 pounds, who, was a smoker, was depressed, and had all these issues going on. So not only did he lose weight, but he started a whole new business. He's a successful health coach now. Here's another example of a mother that very often doesn't have a lot of time freedom. Look at that picture of her in the first picture of the purple, and you can see she's overweight, but look at her face. And just think about how many people are just tired, sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then look at the face in the end with the child there. So how did they do it? So I want to go over some of the key components of this program and also what a healthy body stands for. Now, as you can see, healthy weight is highlighted there, but it's not just about weight, because especially as we move into Asia, some people might not even have an interest in losing weight. But so health is defined by the individual. In the US, weight loss is a very big portal of entry because people spend so much time out of shape. They think that weight loss is the solution and that's their starting point. That's fine. But it could be about healthy eating. Could be about healthy motion, sleep, and obviously stress reduction. So all of those things that you see there, they might be portals of entry for people. But one of the things that we take a lot of pride in is that we start where they are at. We meet people where they are at. And I've never met anybody in my life that can improve their health. And in this crazy world that we live in, and as we go into the culture in Asia, people are always on the move, work. Most people in the world spend 85% of their life working, and they will do that until they drop. So we always find out what the person wants, why, and what their starting point is, and we do that with a health assessment. So our program, we meet people where they're at, and our program has something to offer everybody, but in its entirety, it offers 4 components. And there's the health coach, habits of health, the community, and fueling. So let's go over those quickly. This is really, really important. Because some people are actually going to come in, and their portal of entry might be that they want to help other people get healthy. They might want to be a health coach. They might be interested in the business. But most people right now are coming in because they want to improve their health. They want to use our program, our systems, and our products. And by the way, we like to say that we don't sell products because we sell systems. And a system is something that we put together for the individual. But a health coach is really probably one of the most important cornerstones of the program, because the health coach facilitates the entry into the program and the guidance. So they're caring, knowledgeable people, one-on-one support. Healthy lifestyle program is what they promote and also exhibit in their own lives. Our health coaches are all clients as well, meaning that they're leading by example. We've never seen a health coach get unhealthy every day and be successful at our business and be successful at helping other people. So that's an interesting thing about becoming a health coach, is that it puts you in a place of accountability. But when you are a client, you're actually going on the program with the coach, because the coach is actually working on their own health and they're benefiting by helping you get healthy. You're benefiting from them helping you. But it's interesting how our clients and our coaches help each other on the journey as well. So our health coaches are a very, very crucial part. So they're guiding people towards their improving of their healthy habits. They're moving them from this place. Remember something, when somebody's struggling with their health, it's not something they're doing by choice. They're struggling with their health because they have this list of unhealthy habits, poor habits. So the health coach is guiding them by example and through the system to learn new healthy habits one at a time. And they're there for accountability, mentorship, and encouragement. So that's the first component. So I want you to first of all recognize that as a client coming in, that first component, which represents 25% of the whole program, is free. So that client's getting a health coach for absolutely free. So another thing that they're getting is the habits of health. Now, what we know is that if somebody is to actually transform their health, they're going to need to actually change. They're going to need to change their orientation, their behavior, and things like that. They have to learn something. The reason why most people struggle with diets is they never learn anything. Nothing ever changes. So the second component is the habits of health. And that's something that in their box, they're going to get their habits of health. Now, people on the trial program are getting this book in their box. And obviously, when we launch eventually sometime around June 2019, there's going to be a new version of the book. And the reason why is people start off where they start off, but if they don't learn new habits and get the guidance from the coach, they're going to find that they're just going to tackle the one thing that they thought they needed to do and not all the things attached to it. So the habits of health system is very, very important. And it is very, very crucial to see that it's probably one of the most defining differences between our program and a traditional diet or slimming program. Nobody has taken the time to create an actual educational system that guides somebody and teaches them new healthy habits. Nobody's done that. Nobody has a book. People talk about the importance of changing habits, but nobody has created a system. And the new system is going to have this thing called a life book, where people are going to actually have the ability to go on this journey, but actually recreate their own new reality in life. So that's written by my mentor, my coach, Dr. Anderson. He's a 2-time best-selling author here in the US and now worldwide. So this is going to contribute to their long-term success. Now, if you look at the very nature of a diet or a slimming program, think about what the goal is. The goal is to lose weight. But that can't be the end goal, because when you reach the end goal, you're going to move back. There's nowhere else to go. So we always talk about the fact, like, what's next? What's next? So everybody's goal is optimal health. They want to just achieve optimal health. Now, I can tell you, I started this program 12 years ago, and I still have not reached my goal, and I never will, because it's a lifelong journey. So that's the way we look at this, is long-term success has a lot to do with the fact that you're always working towards your next goal. And as you know, as we age, things change, and exercise changes. You know, I'm 47 years old, and I'm exercising more now than I ever have in my life, but I'm also going to have to take into account that might change as we go. So we're very big on in this educational system on teaching small, consistent changes, and that's because we want sustainable results for life. So that's the second component, and that comes with your order. Now, if you just look at this system here, when a client comes in, step one is before they even get the program, they prepare for their journey. Right? If somebody's going on a diet, they're not preparing for their journey, they're preparing for weight loss. So we already take them through step one. We get them ready mentally. We're doing that with a lot of people that are starting in Singapore and Hong Kong right now. But once they start the program, very often the first goal is going to be weight loss or their first goal. But that's where most diets and slimming programs end, step two. They go step one, step two, and then it's over. There's nothing else. There's no transition. There's no maintenance program, nothing. That's why most people go back. There's no education. So because of our 4 components and the 2 that I just showed you, we like to say that Optavia picks up where diets leave off. And we move to step 3, where we talk about transitioning to healthy eating. We start to make sure that those healthy habits are installed: better sleep, better mindset, mindfulness, hydration, exercise. We install these habits, and once we see them installed, then we start to move on to teaching these habits for a lifetime, optimize health for your age, and then we also start talking about the potential to live a longer, healthier life. We love to look at the idea that if a client goes on our program and really embraces these 4 components, and I've only gone over 2 right now, they're actually going to not only live longer, but live healthier and get a better quality of life. So the third component, also free, also comes with the program. Just think about, and I want everybody to understand what the value of this is. Our clients, you're going to see that clients, when they sign up for our program, they're really just purchasing the products from the company. We don't sell products, we sell systems. The coach's job is to invite and help and guide that client to the 4 components. And this third component right here, we're enjoying some of it right now. You know, right before I started this presentation, I was looking at some faces of people that I've gotten to know over time. And through community, that's where we start to build trusting relationships, inspiration, and support in our community. And we have a Facebook page that we're building now for Singapore and Hong Kong. You'll notice that when clients struggle, people will come to pick them up. When clients succeed, they will get high fives and they will get edification, and just success is very, very contagious, and people will come in, but our community is massive. And just think, a year from now, the Asian community is going to be huge. And when somebody comes in there, they're going to learn so many different things and get support, because very often the coach is a very, very important part of it, but very often they need more. They need to relate to somebody else that may be just like them in their story, so they get that through the community. So there's local virtual community events. We're going to do a lot of that. Come February 2019, there's going to start to be actual live local events in Singapore and Hong Kong. I believe I'm going to be coming in there. Dr. Ray's planning on coming in April. But we're going to be doing a lot of virtual support calls. We're going to have Habits of Health video calls, and then also we're going to provide nutrition support. So all of these things come with the program. So now, if you look at our fuelings, now I want to say that right now we have not launched the Asian line of our fuelings. And when we do, you're going to notice that they all have the same footprint about in regards to what I'm about to show you, but they're going to have the flavors and culture that meet the needs and likes of the Asian culture. And they're going to be amazing. I've tried a lot of them, and we're really excited in the US that we will have access to them, just as the Asian culture will have access to the US products. But think for a second, just internalize right now what it is that you need in your health. Think about for a second, what would you need to have in food? Forget about your particular dietary preferences or needs, but what needs to be in food in order to make it a healthy choice? Because we use this name or this word up top that you see called fueling. So what's the difference between fueling and eating? Well, eating could be something that you do just for fun. You know, when I went to Singapore, I sat down and I had this delicious dish called laksa. And I can tell you, it would be very hard for me to look through that bowl of buttery sauce and all that stuff and find something that was good for me. So that was not fueling, that was eating. Because if I was fueling, I would want something that has a footprint that includes protein, vitamins, minerals, fat, fiber, healthy carbs. Now, everybody knows that stuff. If you ask the population at large, they'll tell you, if I need to lose weight, I need the right amount of calories. Things have to meet my dietary preferences. They know all this stuff. They need, something in case they have allergies. They need it to be on the go. This is what most people will tell you they need. But then if you sit back and you say, okay, now you know that you need to decrease calories, but you need a nutritional footprint, and you need all of these things to make a fueling choice as opposed to eating. How are you going to accomplish this? This is where people struggle. So they see the idea that a health coach is a great idea, the community is a great idea, the education, but this is where the rubber meets the road. Most people will get here right now and they'll say, but how am I going to do it? And if they were left to their own device to go food shopping, they might run into a money problem. They might run into an issue with not knowing what to get. They also might have an issue with support. But one of the most important things is it's very, very hard for someone to accomplish these things right here without help for a host of reasons. So that's why our company with the program makes what's called healthy fuelings. So this is the fourth component, and it's only 25% of the whole program. The first three components are free. But this component right here is where we provide a tool, an actual tool that helps people execute the right amount of calories, the right amount of intervals of fueling every 3 hours, 6 times a day, so their blood sugar doesn't drop way down. Because if somebody's blood sugar drops way down because they haven't eaten in a long time, guess what they crave? Sugar, carbohydrates, and all these things. So a lot of people don't understand because they don't eat often enough. That's why they pull up and eat too much. So these fuelings handle the calories, the convenience, the regularity, and that perfect nutritional footprint. So the key word here for everybody really starting to identify what's the value of fuelings is they act as a tool. Really important to understand. Now, let's just state something that we need to identify that's going on in Asia. Once again, people all know the same things that they're supposed to do, but if you ask the average person, they struggle because they're always on the go. They don't have the time to sit down and make a healthy choice. So in Asia, more than anywhere in the country, they like to grab and go. They like to grab and go. So what we're going to be providing them very, very soon, and through the trial program we're actually providing them, is this tool of grabbing something that you can put in your pocket and eat and actually make it so you can execute fueling every 3 hours, 6 times a day, but that it actually has a nutritional profile to it. And that's how they're going to enhance their health. Now, we also know that Asia is one of the #1 consumers in the entire world of meal replacements. Quick, easy food that's on the go. And their favorite meal replacement is one that has an FDA stamp on it. So all of ours have the FDA stamp, but what makes ours the best is that they're actually good for you. And if they need to actually lose weight or change their health, they can do that with our fuelings. And with our other 3 components, all 4 together, they're going to actually transform their health. So if you look around at what's available, you will always see, like even if you found a product right now in Asia that has some sort of health enhancement to it, they don't have the other 3 components that come along with it. So if you think about that client that goes on our program, all they're really purchasing is the fuelings. But what they get is all 4 components. Now, I can tell you that if someone just eats healthy fuelings without support, community, and education, they will have meager, at best, results, right? Now, I can also tell you if somebody has a health coach and doesn't have the fuelings, same thing. So very important in this moment right now to understand that the program's success is when people engage in all 4 components. However, we don't force people to do anything until they're ready. If somebody just wants to start off with a diet or slimming mindset, we do that because we understand that when they awaken, the other components will make more sense. But the long-term goal of health transformation requires all 4 components. So the basic structure for everybody that's going on program that we put people on, now this is a weight loss structure of the program, meaning they're going to eat 5 of the healthy fuelings. Now keep in mind, you're seeing some pictures of the American fuelings. The Asian fuelings will look a lot more familiar when they come out. We're just not ready to launch those. Those will be in June. Right now in the trial program, everybody in Asia is using our American-based fuelings, which are delicious, but they're American-based food. So the Optimal Weight 5 in 1 program real simply means that they're going to eat 5 healthy fuelings and 1 lean and green. So if you can imagine that lean and green is just a protein source with some nice green vegetables, right? Now there's many, many renditions, and we're going to start putting cultural recipes for lean and greens. But this structure right here is going to give you the perfect nutritional footprint, fueling every 3 hours to regulate that blood sugar, and also is going to put your calories at a place where, and this is for the person that's not real mobile, not a lot of exercise. This is the diet version of our program. And you'll see what, if let's say I have somebody that needs to lose 50, 60, or 100 pounds, but they work out regularly. We might take this program and modify it. Another great value in having a coach and all this education and support, we might take them and say, you're going to eat 4 fuelings and 2 lean and greens in the same structure, same interval. Now, foreshadowing, what do we do when somebody reaches their weight loss goal? They don't want to lose any more weight. We have to modify their program once again to bring their calories up, but keep the structure of the program fueling nutritional footprint every 3 hours, 6 times a day. Remember, we're taking these fuelings and we're taking this new structure of fueling rather than eating, and we're making that a habit. So one of our crucial healthy habits that we teach people over time, which I've used for 12 years now, is every 3 hours I put something in my body. I'll tell you, I'm in France right now. Now, January 1st, I've gone on a 90-day journey to be in perfect health. But the week before January 1st, not so much, right? So I was here, I did New Year's here, and there's beautiful foods here, but I still use the fueling concept. Even if I was eating things that were not healthy for me, eating versus fueling, I still did it in 3-hour intervals. Because if you do that, That's a healthy habit that's going to prevent you from overeating. So this example right here shows you that after weight loss or slimming, we transition them, make sure that the healthy habits are installed, and then we keep the structure of it, but we increase the calories with more healthy eating. Now, I will tell you that once somebody has reached their health goals, is there time for some laksa or for some, I guess, soju or whatever people are having over there, a little bit of fun? Of course. You know, life is to be lived, you know, but in this system, we typically see people Monday through Friday, just as they get ready for work, focusing on their structure and leaving room for fun. And we notice that people have less and less and less desire to have those moments of fun, because what they start to feel is they love something more than cheating on program, and they love how they feel. You know, what I love more than having a piece of New York pizza right now is I like taking my shirt off at the beach and walking around and feeling good about myself, because I used to swim with my shirt on. So you get the point. So this is a nice graph right here as we get closer to the end, where it kind of shows you the system. So remember, we meet people where they're at. Traditionally, when people come in, and this is specifically in the US, and remember, you know, Asia's obesity rates have gone up 7%. So there is obesity there. But when people come in, they're typically eating more calories than they're burning. So that's what they look like, and that's why they're overweight, low energy, lackadaisical, poor sleep. So when we put them on the program, in some way, shape, or form, we're reversing that, where we're bringing their calories down lower, right? But we're also keeping their activity about the same. We might have to modify, bringing their calories down lower, but dramatically improving their nutritional footprint. Most people don't understand. Most people that diet will just focus on calorie decrease. But that's not where the magic comes from in fat burn. It typically comes from a perfect cocktail of nutrition. That's what it's like putting coal on a fire. So we put people on the 5-in-1 or the 4-in-2, a weight loss structure. And then remember, while they're going through this weight loss structure, they're getting the support, they're in the community, and they're also getting the education. So they're actually transforming mentally as well. But once they get to this point where they've lost their weight and they don't want to lose any more weight, and they want to focus on the next step of just optimizing their health, we have a transition process where we might start taking away some of the fuelings, adding more lean and green, observing how many of those healthy habits have been installed. Right? And that's the coach's job, and that's the importance of creating a relationship. That's why we get paid so well, because our role is crucial. We transition that person. When somebody gets to that last phase, that blue phase, meaning they've gotten through transition, that's when the coach and the client have said, I now drink water without even thinking about it. I'm focusing on movement and sleep, and my body now is calling for fueling every 3 hours. I've had a couple of rough moments where I wanted to do this and I didn't. I'm starting to feel like I'm under control. Transition ends, and that's when we really, really have fun, because then you start to say, what's next? Maybe I want to live longer. Maybe I want to try a new exercise, you know? And then also this idea of becoming a coach. What's interesting about becoming a coach is, if you think about it, we have this thing called the Trilogy of Optimal Health. The 3 components are healthy body leads to a healthy mind. Remember, only on a healthy body rests a healthy mind. Healthy body leads to a healthy mind, leads to healthy finances. So becoming a coach, now remember in the beginning, I told you with that first component, that health coach, from the client's perspective, that coach is giving them support, mentorship, guidance, and all those things, answering the simple questions. But in reverse, what is the coach getting out of the client? Well, he's receiving payment, but he's also receiving, he or she is receiving accountability and a never-ending improvement and enhancement of their education. The coach is receiving that to teach us to learn twice. So think about what I'm benefiting from right now by giving this very presentation. I just went over this slide probably for the 1,000th time, right? But how does that benefit me? It solidifies it. I'm building my business. You're all looking at me right now and saying, if this guy gains 10 pounds, I'm out of here. It's a sham, right? So think about the value of becoming a coach, because when a client becomes a coach and starts helping others, it actually completes their trilogy. It actually completes their process and enhances and leverages the idea of them never gaining their weight back. I will never gain my weight back, guys, because it's my job not to. And people count on me. And I'll tell you something, food is just too darn yummy to think that you can lose weight and never gain it back. The way we never gain it back, if you want to know the real truth, is we can't, right? We can't, because it's this new reality where the healthiest people that you'll ever meet are people that are engaged in some way, shape, or form in helping others. So we're growing. We're growing. I wanted to show you this picture. This is that little red circle way up there. That's JC up on stage. This is our last convention. We had about 6,000 people there. And yes, I was having a panic attack up there, but I've done it so many, and I was wearing pink pants actually. But this is the smallest crowd you're ever going to see at Optavia. So there's 6,000 people in this crowd. We already know we're going to have about 14,000 people at our next convention in July, and that's without even inviting Asia. So I want you to understand that there are coaches in our community now that are making above $300,000 US a month. And there's top 5 coaches. I'm one of those top 5 coaches. There's about 26,000 coaches now. And we all sit at this little table called Optavia 1, and we all know something. And that is that the most successful coaches are not even in our company yet, because we have just begun. So I just want you to look at that picture and look at some of these community pictures that we take. I think actually, Deb, are you in there? She should be in there. Yeah, we have to find her. She's in this picture. But in any case, this is our community. You know, this is what we're doing, and this is just a little drop in the bucket because we're moving to Asia. So a couple things about the Asian market. Research shows that Optavia story is as relevant there, and that's the whole story, the story of transformation. Here's some interesting facts right here. This is the increase in the obesity index versus 1980. Now, I will say that U.S. is probably responsible for most of that, exporting obesity. But you can see in China, it's up 6.8, right? So there is going to be a huge, huge need for slimming and weight loss. But you know, it's going to be more about nutrition and on the go. But you can just see. Now, what is this statistic in China going to be 10 years from now? Even with our help, it's going to be worse. Because it's people are spending less time with health and more time with work. And the economy is not showing that to change. So it's about lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. So it's you know, I love this picture because let's say one of those people gets healthy, becomes a coach. Do you understand how that affects everybody? Now look back at my story. How did me going on this program, thinking that I needed to lose weight, how did it impact their kids? They got their father back. I work from home now. I'm sitting here in France right now, spending time with my family for 2 weeks, and I'm able to work. That's called time freedom and also financial freedom. So the market potential is massive. We went over a little bit of this. Here's another thing. Sustained growth is seen in all regions of the Asia Pacific, which is the largest for direct selling. Now, we're not in multi-level marketing because we don't sell a product and we don't, our coaches don't have to purchase something every month. Very interesting to look into that because there's nothing like this in Asia right now. But look at these statistics of what's going on there, and what we understand is that the business-minded entrepreneurial people that are involved in direct sales in Asia, they're looking for something different. They're looking for something that matters. They don't just want to get involved in a business. They want to get involved in a business that's attached to actually helping people. So benefits of paying it forward, healthiest clients are those that are helping others. The community reinforces your decision to stay healthy. These are the benefits of being a coach. Become your most fulfilled you. Another component, and Dale and Dr. Deb understand this, is as we move forward, here I am, I'm this leader of this company and helping all these people. I'm engaged in personal growth and self-discovery like I never knew was even possible. Because as I move forward and I have all these people that I'm helping and I'm getting time freedom, well, I'm sitting here writing a book. Here's the outline of my book. I've started a podcast. I've found love. I have this time freedom to go out there and build my life. So it adds a lot of meaning and purpose to my life by paying it forward as well. Every day I have people saying thank you to me. So just to give you an idea, these are some examples of some average monthly incomes, and remember when I say average, that's going from the top to the fact that some people make nothing, right? Because they don't even coach anymore. But just to show you, these are some leadership ranks. Integrated executive director, somebody that's helping like 15, 16 people on program. And then integrated presidential director is what I am. I think there's about 15 of those in our company now. So just closing out, Optavia coaches complete the trilogy. That's what I was explaining. And then they go on that lifelong journey. So what's next? For people that are watching this recording, if you have not been added to this is our Optavia Singapore. And now it says top left, it actually says Singapore, Hong Kong, because we have some Hong Kong friends coming in. This is the Facebook page that we're putting people in. This video is living there. If you're watching this as a recording, and all of our training is going to be coming through there. Now we have an actual new training system coming through, and it's this 12-week training system that we've been talking about. We're going to be doing it with all of our new health coaches, but we're beta testing right now this new system that's actually run through an app that will train a health coach from start to finish, and Asia is going to have access to that before everyone, as well as our new app. Your clients are going to now plug their results into their app. They're going to communicate with their app. Let's say somebody goes and eats some rice and they're not supposed to. They plug into the app. Dr. A comes out and says, what are you doing? Stop, challenge yourself, and then choose. And guess who gets an alert that person's going through that? Their coach. So there's a lot of fun things coming through, but this is going to be the portal where everybody communicates through. So whether you're a client, a coach, or even just interested in this, you want to make sure you're in this community page, because this is where all the information will be translated. And then just quickly, here's a nice graph that shows you, and if anybody wants a picture of this, I'll send it to you so you don't have to take screenshots. But basically the international, the trial program, the candidate program that we have going on right now that will go on all the way up until June, and many of you are already in this, is the candidate will come into the program and they will actually apply for the program, get accepted. They have to be over 25 years old and a permanent resident of Singapore or Hong Kong. Right now there's a limitation to how many people, but come this month, they're going to open the floodgates for more. But basically, for $199, whether if you're in Singapore, it's $199. If you're in Hong Kong, it's $100, and then you pay $99, same price. But they're going to get 1 month of actually 6 weeks of the program, because we want to make sure that they have a longer time. They'll get the support of a coach, and through that, they'll get to experience the program as a U.S. client would, and that'll be that person's way of also securing their spot as a coach once we launch in probably June of 2019. Now, what's really cool about this program is it gives you the ability to secure your spot, try the program, begin getting training, so that the day that we actually launch, let's say it's June 1st, 2019, you're going to be able to get your coach kit, and you will have already been trained up and already have started building your business so that you can launch it that day. Now, let's say somebody comes into this program and they're experiencing it, and then everybody starts asking them, because the buzz about Optavia is going to start spreading in Singapore and Hong Kong. They have the ability to put somebody into the program and secure that person under them eventually as well. So if you think about it, you live in Singapore or Hong Kong, and you want to start building this business, and you have a lot of friends and family that either need the program or want to be a coach, maybe you know some entrepreneurial people or people that know a lot of people, you can actually put people into the system, give them an experience, which is training in itself, put them into the community, let them start experiencing the 4 components, and allow them to get trained up and start building the business potential for themselves for the launch as well. So remember something. The people that are going to be the most successful coaches in this company are not even in the company yet. So they might be watching this video right now. And a great way to start right now would be to have a conversation, do what's called a health assessment, or apply for this trial program, this candidate program, get involved in the system, and start getting involved in the community. So that is it. So what I'm going to do now is